Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you're watching this. I'm Mr. Ward, and welcome to the virtual edition of Back to School Night 2021. Luckily, this year is a little different than last year in that all students are finally in the classroom. My life is so much better with that, trust me. All right, so what I want to do is give you a quick rundown. We'll keep this as brief as possible of Writing Workshop 7, kind of what we work on, skills we work to develop, grading, that kind of thing. So with that said, let's get into it. Let's do it. All right, first thing, we're working on 5 types of writing. First, we're working on, I'm sure you might have heard of this the last few years, but race or racer responses and summary writing. Really, this is a unit on paragraph development. We're starting this now, and actually I'm telling students, we get this down, it makes essay writing a lot smoother. So that's why we like to focus on that first. Then we'll do a personal narrative. Students generally love this unit. They get to write something related to themselves. Then we work on a literary essay. We're focused on symbolism in 2 stories, compare and contrast a symbol used. Then we'll do, it's like a research simulation, but really looking at 3 nonfiction texts and comparing the writer's purpose in those 3. And these all kind of hit the they hit the standards for 7th grade writing. And the final unit, students tend to love as well. They pick a topic that interests them and they research it, and we'll learn credible, non-credible sources, both online searching, library database searching. They'll read about it, write about it, and then figure out what they want to say about the big topic. And then they'll write an essay, or they'll produce something that fits what they're trying to say. So in other words, some students might write an argumentative essay, some might write a compare and contrast, some might write a problem solution essay, but it's going to be based on the message they want to deliver will dictate what they write. To me, that's more real world writing than some of the other stuff that we have to do. Skills we're going to develop this year, determine what the students want to say. What is their voice? What do they say about the topic? Transitions. Instead of throwing 100 transitions at them, I go transition by type. First one will be time order sequence. It just fits with summary writing. Citing evidence, using in-text citations, which Mr. Grasso and I call the 5 Ps, stands for parenthesis, person, page, parenthesis, period. Analyzing evidence, explaining the evidence to really, and this is where students, it doesn't matter what's been 7th, 8th grade I've taught, 10th grade I've taught, college freshmen. Showing your thinking to your reader is one of the biggest areas that people tend to struggle with. So that's something we will absolutely work on. These last 2 bullet points will pretty much be most of the year, just honing that in different ways, different types of lessons, focusing on different standards, but this is generally where we spend a lot of time. Grades. We do total points. Classwork, homework assignments, generally 10 to 25 points. We do any brainstorming, graphic organizers, I'm huge into them, 25 to 50 points. Quizzes, there'll be some here and there, 50 points. And the final draft of whatever writing, 100 points. Students will do drafts. They won't get a grade on that draft. The final draft will be graded. They'll get feedback on drafts. They'll get feedback on the process throughout. So by the time we get to the final draft, it should be decent. So if they say, oh, we just wrote this one day in class and I got X, no, we've probably worked on it for a long period of time. There will be time at the end where it may be a benchmark assessment. And now over the course of 3 or 4 days, read a couple texts and write the same type of essay we just did. That could be something that, all right, now that's on demand. And 100 points, because it would be like the benchmark, the test grade. Let's see where we are. But the essays and the writing we work on over a long period of time, absolutely we're getting feedback to learn throughout. Everything will be in Google Classroom. Let students focus on the already classwork tab. The stream, there's not much in it right now, but if November comes and if they're trying to find something from now, it'll be like going through your Facebook timeline trying to find something from 2 months ago. It's not going to work. Classwork, everything's organized by week. It just makes it a little easier. When we write stuff, every time they will get a checklist, like this is one we will use for race, the different parts that are in it. Reminder to start with title author, what that first sentence should look like. Citing evidence. Here's some example of the in-text citations, the 5 Ps. Using transition indicator verb. Here's an example of what that sentence looks like. Explain the evidence with an example. So they will always have this. And then the organizer will always do organizers. So for race response, what's the title author? Original question. Let's restate it. What's the answer? Combine these two. There's your topic sentence. Evidence with the 5 Ps. And then it's just a matter of taking this, looking at the checklist, and putting it into a response. So a lot of times students will fight me on the organizers, but eventually, sometimes quicker, sooner than others. Sometimes it might take a few months. Invariably, almost always, students eventually say, I don't like doing all this work, but it makes it a lot easier to write. Other than that, if you happen to have any questions throughout the year, shoot me an email, fward@college-k12.org. And looking forward, like I said, to working with everybody this year. Hope we're gonna have a dynamic year and learn a lot. And other than that, 40 out.